Following the killing of the UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, it shows a couple things. It shows a scary lack of empathy and an empathy deficit among so many Americans. It shows how so many Americans have also been screwed by insurance companies, which fuels the hatred or the dislike. And it also shows a opportunity for the Democratic Party, if they take it, which they probably won't, they won't be consistent, of harnessing this anger and directing it to where it should go and make it productive. First, the lack of empathy that people are showing online about the execution pretty much of a fellow human being in the middle of New York City for doing a job that so many other CEOs do. They cut costs, this and that and the other. But it shows you that when you have businesses that constantly screw over the hardworking American people, it provides resentment and hatred that is dangerous. And it really starts to dehumanize other people who have been, who they feel they've been abused by. And like I said to somebody else, it shows you how when people say, how could people in the past allow these atrocities to happen? How could Hitler rise? How could Mussolini rise? How could all these tragedies happen? It's because when you have a lack of humanity and empathy, you can do pretty much anything and people will go along with it. Now, people have a right to be outraged because people feel screwed by insurance companies when they pay their insurance month after month, year after year, and then once they need it, they have to go through all these hoops to get the care that they paid many years for, or they get denied care. The doctors say they need this and the insurance company say they don't, even though the insurance company aren't doctors. Or the doctors say this will help, the insurance company won't cover it. Or if they do cover, you have to take all this time to, like I said, jump through all these hoops, and you get denied. People see their family members struggling with cancer and deal with insurance claims, and people struggling with all these diseases, and these insurance companies blatant disregard, putting profit over people, as so many corporations do. And it presents the perfect opportunity for the Democrats. Like I said, with every tragic event, there is an opportunity to make something positive out of it. And the Democratic Party needs to harness this anger and direct it to where it can be useful, directed towards voting, directed towards being organized, directed towards being informed, to combat the right-wing propaganda of woke ideology. You could argue that an insurance company denying people health care coverage or insurance claims after they paid for years is the opposite of being woke. But it takes diligent messaging to do that. And with the Democratic Party, whether the people who are going to be running in 2028 and the Democratic Party as a whole, is to say, we are the ones who are against gun violence. The killing of any person, the murder of any person, is always unacceptable. We have too much gun violence. And this is something the Democratic Party has been teaching and talking about for years and years, and always blocked by the Republican Party. And then once you say that, you pivot and say, you know what? While the Republicans take this anger, because this is the same anger that Trump uses, but he directs it at trans people, gay people, immigrants, and Ukraine, and all these other people. It's the same anger underneath. And it's anger at people getting away with things that they feel they can't get away with. People being taken advantage of. People working hard and still not be able to get ahead. And this is a good opportunity because the Republican Party pretty much is all in on big corporations right now. Tax cuts, billionaires, Elon Musk, all the 5 billionaires in his cabinet. Tax breaks are going to be rolling out over the next coming years. It's a prime opportunity to take that anger and focus it towards the Republican Party, not with violence, but with voting and with building up the progressive Democratic media machine online. And that's something we really need to do to combat this right-wing tsunami of stuff all over the internet. And I'll touch on that later, because the far left, the TYT, the Young Turks, the real far left, they are not the Democratic base, because they will not, a lot of times, they won't vote for Democrats anyway. They are the both sides are bad, so do whatever you want. So I'll touch on that on another video. But like I said, Democrats have to start taking advantage of these opportunities, as Republicans do. They take advantage of hurricanes, they take advantage of people suffering to make their political points, and we need to do the same, but we just need to do it in a more logical sense, a more fact-based sense, and just in reality, because we live in reality and most of them don't.